Okay, my name is Kevin Zhang. This is going to be the core program for an Olympic lifter. With the Olympic lifter, the demands are quite different than a lot of different sports. We really want to focus on the stabilization aspect of the spine. A lot of their movements, we need an upright torso, we need a lot of compression, and we need to kind of protect the spine, which also allows the other joints to move and be more effective. So a lot of the core programming will be around kind of moving the joints and stabilizing the spine at the same time. So we really want to work on local stabilization with the smaller muscle groups, as well as when we do the global stabilization and the strength, we're still compressing the spine and allowing the other joints to move as efficiently as possible. So the first thing we want to work on with stabilization is just kind of this bracing exercise. Or a posterior pelvic tilt. So what we tell the athletes is to brace, kind of imagine if you're getting punched in the stomach. I know a lot of places teach kind of this inhale method or the inward draw movement, but we don't want to pull in because that's going to be very difficult to do while completing lifts. So we want to brace it. So it's tight abs, so we just kind of brace the abs, tighten the glutes. All right, so we're bracing the abs. We only need about a 30% contraction right now, but we want to get them used to kind of beginning with the stabilization of the spine, learning how to brace and bringing all these muscle groups into play. From there, we'll go to a simple floor procedure where we'll kind of add on to this with the stabilization. Okay. So same concept, athletes laying down, and we just want to brace. So the idea here is that when I brace, kind of my back flattens out on the floor. Okay, we want to start with the feet up, the head back, bracing, okay, about a 30% contraction. This also learns for them to breathe, because if we tell them we need 100% contraction, they'll have difficulties breathing. So just a 30% hold, my back is flat, my abs are engaged, my head is back, I'm losing that arch, that pelvis posterior rotates, sets me up for good position. So I want to do about 15 repetitions of this, or you can do it 30 seconds. It's up to the sports professional. Okay, so once we get through with this during the stabilization, we want to add some movement into this. So we're just going to do some gentle leg lifts. Now again, what we'll find is if an athlete is engaging the core, the back will arch, okay, and they'll have more difficulties. So what we want to do is we want to, again, set the table, tight abs, tight glutes, okay, got it good, and we just want to bring the feet up. Count of 1 or 2. We can do this about 20 times through. We want to make sure that the athlete isn't losing this bracing sequence. 1,001, 1,002. Okay, and as the athlete gets a little bit better later on in the program, we can kind of hold for a little bit longer. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005. Again, we're looking for that back to remain flat on the ground. They've got a good braced core and they're not arching. At the same time, we want to work on kind of the posterior aspect with the erectors, okay, and the glutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called like a Superman mover, where we're just going to try and lift the legs and the chest off the ground for a short time. We want to learn to engage those. These are strong spinal muscles in the back that help brace with the thoracolumbar fascia, will help brace the athlete. So with the back part, okay, we just want to pull up, 1,001, 1,002, and down. Up, 1,001, 1,002, and down. And then we can go ahead and add the arms and legs. You can do it either at the same time, 1,001, 1,002, or I can do it reciprocally, 1,001, 1,002. Head posture is important. We don't want the athlete to look up. We want the athlete to remain looking down on the stabilization part of that. So that's the beginning part of the stabilization phase as far as the Olympic athlete. Once they start to be able to do that, then we'll move to a little bit more complex stabilization exercises. Okay, the first one is kind of work on rotation, stabilization. So we have a band here. We're going to take the band out And I'm gonna come from here and I'm gonna punch out and I'm gonna bring it in. The force of the band is gonna try and tempt me to rotate my trunk. So I'm resisting that, and that's gonna help stabilize my spine during these movements. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do it the other way. Okay? So again, we can do 15, 20 reps of those, out and back, and that's gonna be kind of the in-between between the stabilization and the strength phases. As the athlete gets stronger, you can use more resistance, and as the athlete progresses, you can go further out. You can also add a little bit of rotation, but again, that stabilization is what we're looking for. So that would be each day we work on those movements. The last thing that we would want to do for both the front and back is we want to add kind of an unstable platform. All right, this kind of mirrors strength as well as stabilization, but what we like about the ball is that it does create imbalancing and it'll help with the supporting. So again, here we're just going to do a nice easy sit up. You want to kind of place ball in the mid back. Okay, the hands are neutral, lay back, and we just want to come up, hold it for a count of 1, and then down. Up, hold it for a count, and then down. All right. The goal here early on in the stabilization is just to be able to resist kind of the movement. So as we sit up, we want to make sure that we're bracing ourselves and we're not sliding all over the place, and we're able to stabilize with a little bit of movement. With any strength phase in the core, especially with Olympic lifters, we want to limit the amount of compression that we put on the spine as far as flexion and extension. So because of the upright posture that Olympic lifters will need, we don't want to work on a whole lot of localized flexion and extension. We want to work on more globalized, where the spine is, the muscles of the core are stabilizing the spine and the joints are kind of moving around it. So again, we're just going to get a little bit of movement with here, same thing, stabilization. Okay, the hands come up to the ears, and then I'm just going to get a little bit of extension. Hold it for a count of 1, and then down. Hold it up, and then down. Up, and then down. So those are kind of the pinnacle as we work through the stabilization phase.